Hi there. Welcome to the Project Manager Agent built with the Mastra framework and deployed on Nosana. This agent eliminates planning paralysis by automating the breakdown, prioritization, and formatting of projects across Trello, Jira, or even Markdown if you don't have Trello or Jira, helping you to go from idea to execution fast. You have a messy Trello board filled with unclear steps and disorganized placement? Good. This agent is here to interactively clean it up and make it way more organized, prioritized, and actionable. Your team has a Jira project filled with vague epics and unclear issues. Good. This agent is here to create better epics, clearer issues, and the best part, you don't even have to add it yourself to Trello or Jira. It does that automatically if you tell it to do so with these tools that you can see right here. We also have workflows where we have the Trello workflow where all you have to do is put your messy tasks or project description and you put in the workspace if you're working with Trello and the existing board it could read from to better augment the messy tasks or project description. Then the target workspace, that's where it has to write to, and the name of the target board, and then it goes through this workflow to create that for you. And that goes for the Jira workflow. Now let's come back to the agent. Now I'm gonna send a hi here and we should get a response. So now we'll be able to work from here. Before that, let me show you a bit of what Jira and Trello is. I like to use Trello as managing my own personal projects. When I have tasks or projects I have to do myself, I come over to Trello and then write it down. There I can create lists and different cards to mark different things that I want to do. You could make it really beautiful. Now that's the edge this project manager agent has because it can automatically populate the board without me having to do so on their website. In a few minutes, I'm going to be using this board right here as an augmentation for a prompt I'm going to give to my LLM or to my agent so that it can read this particular board and write to another board, thereby making this very unclear and vague tasks even more better arranged and separated and categorized. And that is for Trello. For Jira, however, it's a bit different. Jira, I like to think of it as more of a team-based stuff. Now, when you're working with a team where you guys have to do a particular project together, that is when I tend to use Jira. Now, Jira is a bit different, right? Because it has some certain things that you have to add. We have sprints that register a particular effort, a particular stuff you guys are about to do in a particular time. So let's say we want to work on this particular things for the next 1 month. We add that to a particular sprint and give that sprint a date, right? A date range. Then we have epics, which represent a larger part of smaller tasks that we want to do, right? And then we have issues, which can either be stories, bugs or tasks, right? Which are normally what are inside epics, and that is really what it is. So now let's read from this particular Trello board and write to this particular empty Trello board using the project manager agent. Obviously, I have to have connected to my Trello using an API. When you go to my GitHub, which you would see in the post following this video, you would see that there are certain keys that the agent needs to be able to connect to your Jira or Trello. So now I'm going to send this, and this is telling it that it should take or read from my Trello workspace, and the name of the workspace you should read from is the Trello workspace, and the board name is demo input, and you can see it was able to call the right tools and was able to read it and get everything back just like it was in my Jira, my demo input for my Trello. Now I can tell it to make it better. Make it better. So now let's see what it comes up with. We should expect much more categorization and breakdown of the different tasks there is, and it's even letting me to be able to do it in epics, stories, and tasks, which is really great. And there we have it. It was able to do just that, and it was able to categorize them into different epics which I can read through, and when I'm satisfied, all I have to do is tell it to write to my new board. So now I'm gonna say write to a new board called demo output, right? And it is in the same workspace. And then I'm gonna hit that, and hopefully this works. And while that is happening, let's try to work with Jira. So for Jira, things are a bit different. All you have to do is click on these three dots, then go to your project settings, and the only thing you need is your project key. And you also have to make sure that your project is team based. Now, having that set, all you have to do to get it to read from it is to tell it to read from it, having of course been connected with it. So now I'm gonna say read from my Jira project key is equal to that was demo input, so demo input, and hopefully it's able to read from that project and give us a good result. And there it is. It was able to find out what the epic was, and it was able to see the epic under the resume template, and you see it was able to see our number one epic and our number two epic, implement resume templates, and research on current best templates. It was able to do just that from our Jira board. So now I'm going to tell it to make it better. So make it better. And now it has done just that, simply from the epic and backlogs that I had here. And you see, it did not even need more than that. Now, if I wanted this to be more better, obviously I'll have to give it much more context on what I'm building. But because we are trying to get things done in time, well, let me just continue. So now I'll tell it to write to a new project, and project key will be output demo, and hit on enter, and let's wait for it to do its magic. And alright, while that is going on, we have to check out the workflow. So I'm going to do my Trello enhancement workflow. In my messy tasks or project description, I'm just going to say that this is a startup preparation. And the existing workspace is the Trello workspace, since I actually want to be passing in a workspace, a board, so I have to give it a workspace. So then I have to pass in the board, right? In this case, it is demo input. Then target workspace in this case is demo output, and the name for the new enhanced board Okay, sorry, this is supposed to be Trello workspace 2. So Trello workspace, and then the name for the enhanced board is simply demo output. And then we're going to run that, so it should be able to read from our existing Trello board. Then it should be able to enhance the task and then be able to create our new Trello board. And there we have it. You can see that the workflow was completed, and if I open up this, you can see that we actually had a success. So let's check out how our new demo output looks like. So I'm going to refresh this, and hopefully things are looking different. Okay, maybe it's created a new board instead. Okay, it's created a new board called startup preparation, which it should not have, because I specifically gave it the name of an enhanced board. But yeah. So there it is, the to do, which is what we have to do first. You can see that we went from this to this, which is really much more better, right? Yeah, and that is why this is really great. Now let's try to do the same for Jira. Hopefully there should be some problem. There's a problem somewhere that was not able to use this demo output, probably because it's already used or something, but we'll figure that out. So for the Jira is the same. So in this case, all I have to do is the messy tasks also. So I'm going to say resume creation. Then I'm going to read the existing project key. In this case, it's just going to be was it demo input, right? Demo input. Then I'm going to get the target key that I want to be writing to. So in this case, it was output demo. Then if I wanted to assign it to someone, I just have to put the person's email right here. So I'm going to say your va88 at gmail.com, which is a real person in my team. And yeah, that's all. Then I just click on run, and it should be able to validate the project to make sure that this project actually exists. That's my output demo, because unlike Trello, it is unable to create a new board. So it actually depends on you having to create a team-based board, because you cannot create a board outside of, you cannot create a project outside of Jira and enable it to have team-based features. So that is why it has to validate that project first, then read the existing project, enhance the task, and create your Jira issues. So if I go to my demo output right now and then I refresh, we should see better things. And there you have it. Remember, we had nothing there before, but you can see that we have things there right now which are really cool, right? If I come to my label here, you see that we have a new label front end and UI, and my epics are defined, right? I have one epic resume template, and then you can see that I have this ones too, and you can see that they were assigned to your va88 at gmail.com. And that is why this is really cool. I did not have to leave my agent or my workflows, and everything was done right from here and giving me something really great that I did not have to waste a lot of time trying to create. So yeah, that is all for the project manager agent. I hope you cut down all the time you spend on creating different workflows and different projects and different task preparation, because this agent is here to help you do just that. Bye bye.